Other really wild characters, very much like we see in Alice, right? Throughout the story, we also see her deviating from just the Alice story. One of her catchphrases through the series is, "Toto, I think we're not in Tokyo anymore." We pay homage to the Wizard of Oz. And despite the fact that there are a lot of magical creatures that she and Inuyasha encounter, she's not a magical girl. So she has to depend on her own intelligence, very much like Alice and like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. But she also has to learn to work with a partner in order to survive in this alien world. So again, we see kind of this mixing of Western and traditional Japanese culture, because in 16th century feudal Japan, where she's thrust, she needs to learn how to get along. It's certainly not like, in this case, 20th century Japan was. The last film I'm going to talk about is my personal favorite, I admit it. My Neighbor Totoro, Hayao Miyazaki's 1988 film. Most of you probably know when it debuted,
Saw that on Cartoon Network while I was in high school. It was fantastic.
Is it any good? I just read that.
Oh my God, it's fabulous. Sorry, I'm editorializing, but yes, I love it. It's my favorite. It debuted as a twin bill with Grave of the Fireflies. How many of you have seen Grave of the Fireflies? Not exactly a children's movie. The story of a young boy and girl in World War II Japan who died of starvation. Yeah, they came out together. As a result, Totoro really was not very popular when it came out. People didn't know what to do with it. And I'll tell you, it wasn't, and I took my Totoro out of my bag before I came. I was going to bring my little stuffed Totoro with me. But it wasn't until they did the merchandising for the film that it became popular, and they reissued it, and it became a hit. Now, Miyazaki, the reigning god of anime, is A, the best-known animator in the West, and B, probably as well-known in Japan as Walt Disney used to be here when he was alive. Born in 1941 in Tokyo into a very wealthy family. His family is Miyazaki Motors. They make airplane engines. Unlike Tezuka, who went to medical school and put himself through school by illustrating and doing manga, Miyazaki wanted to be an animator from the time he was young. And he went to college and got a degree in art. Wow. Came out of school in 1963 and got a job at Toei Productions, where he was working as an in-betweener. Anybody know what an in-betweener is?
Yeah. They have the main animators draw all the key poses, and then the in-betweeners go in and do all the stuff in between so that it actually moves.
Right. In cell animation for any given scene, you have the first one and the last image in that scene drawn by the main animator. And then somebody else has to do all of those all those scenes in between that show all the action. It's like in a flip book, you know, when you flip it and you see the characters move. So he started out as an in-betweener, and it wasn't very long before they realized that he was really, really good. His early works were things like Sherlock Holmes, where Sherlock Holmes is a bloodhound and Mr. Watson is a beagle, complete with the trench coat and the deer slayer hat. He did one, something a Norse boy, I can't think of what his name is. So he started out doing, like Tezuka, a lot of things based on Western comics and Western traditions. But by the early 1980s, he was tapped to do more mature work. He worked on the Lupin III series. Everybody know Monkey Punch's Lupin III, based on the historical French character Arsène Lupin, the jewel thief, modeled after, in the case of Lupin III, James Bond, and To Catch a Thief, Cary Grant, infamous jewel thieves. In fact, Miyazaki's first full-length feature film, directing, there he is, was
He's awesome.
The Castle of Cagliostro, the full-length feature film about Lupin. How many of you seen Castle of Cagliostro? Fun one. Some of his other best-known works: Nazca of the Valley of the Wind. You have to see Nazca. I will tell you that one of the thing that started anime in academia is Susan Napier, when she was at the University of Texas, Austin. She's kind of the art historian, she's a cultural studies person. She team taught a course with somebody in the ecology department, and they used the manga as their textbook to do, and use Nazca as the basis for an ecology class. I was fortunate enough to work with Dr. Mary Rocky in art ed at ASU, in her art ed classes, and showed them Nazca, and many of the art ed teachers took it into elementary school, upper level, like 5th, 6th grade, and into junior high, where they had the kids making bugs out of recyclables. So it was really fun. So one of my personal favorites. Princess Mononoke, the story of an Iron Age culture where man and the gods are colliding. Sorry, this one's in French. I don't know why I grabbed the French one. Spirited Away.
I love that movie.
The winner of the first Academy Award for animation, and the one that put Miyazaki on the map in the West. Ponyo, another French one for some reason. Probably because on the internet they're this big, and I can't read them. A reflection of his concerns about the environment, one of his key areas of emphasis. And how many of you got to see Up on Poppy Hill when it was playing in Tempe a couple weeks ago? It was here for a week. I was really upset. Yeah, because I didn't hear about it until like the day before it ended. I was like, So, his newest film, I'm expecting it'll be out again soon. So, Miyazaki, big following here and in Japan. So, My Neighbor Totoro, the story of a college professor and his two daughters, Satsuki and May, who moved to the country to be near their mother, who is hospitalized with tuberculosis. It's a sweet story of